The Greek people spoke and Alexis Tsipras is Prime Minister once again. After resigning his post in August to force snap elections, he achieved his ultimate goal, leading his leftist Syriza Party to a solid victory. In a coalition with the right-wing Independent Greeks Party, Tsipras must now oversee the implementation of the bailout measures agreed to with the European Union. To tell us what's next, CCTV's Filio Kontrafouri joins us from Athens. And Filio, the Prime Minister has wasted no time in releasing a 2016 budget. And in that budget, we see more taxes, less spending. So what are the other highlights of this budget?
Well, that's right, Anand, and this is a tough draft budget that it is very likely it will have to be amended before it reaches its final form, depending on how the Greek economy progresses. The International Monetary Fund, one of Greece's international lenders, just released a report saying that it is very likely Greece might need additional measures worth over 1.3 billion euros for 2015 and 2016. So like you mentioned, this is another tough budget for Greece that's full of budget cuts and additional taxes. There's over 2.5 billion euros in additional taxes, over 1.3 billion euros in even more pension cuts. Pensioners have been paying a very heavy price throughout this past 5 years of this economic crisis. Also, we see slashing of benefits. Fewer Greeks now will have access to cheaper heating oil as the winter approaches. So it is a budget that largely depends on spending even less while trying to bring in as much money as possible into the country's coffers. Also, according to that draft budget, it is expected that the Greek economy will continue to shrink. This year, it is expected to shrink at about 2.3%, while Greece's public debt is also expected to keep rising, and it will reach about 198% of the country's GDP next year. Now, Prime Minister Tsipras did say in Parliament that he's hoping that his coalition will try to restore social justice, but also dignity for the Greek people. But there's many people here, Anand, as well as analysts, saying that something like that is not likely that it will happen anytime soon under such depression-like conditions in the country, Anand.
Now, Filio, Tsipras initially came to power on promises to end austerity. If we look at this budget, it's at odds with what he's promised in the past. I mean, he is responsible for overseeing this tough budget package, but how do Greeks hear him? Do they think he's the leader that they need to see them through this difficult period?
Well, you know, the Greek people have lost their faith in the political system in general. They do blame the old guard for bringing the country in the situation that it is in today. But at the same time, they're also extremely disappointed that Alexis Tsipras did not keep his promises. And at the same time, if you ask a lot of them, you know, then why they voted for Alexis Tsipras, knowing that this extremely harsh bailout was on the way, they will tell you that they voted for him because they did not want to vote for any of the two mainstream parties, New Conservative New Democracy and Socially PASOK, the two parties that governed Greece for the last 40 years. Also, they will tell you that they voted for Alexis Tsipras because they do feel that he does deserve a second chance. But overall, Alexis Tsipras has lost a lot of that leadership glow that he had among the people, Anand, since he first came to power back in January.